Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Corey Baumeister.
Who?
Corey Baumeister.
Why is that everything so different now?
We're mixing it up.
I'm on the wrong side. You're not Todd Anderson. I'm so confused. We don't have Rob in the booth. We have Travis today. Say hi, Travis.
Hey, how's it going?
No, you're supposed to literally say hi, Travis. See, nobody knows what's going on.
Nobody's following any order here,
I'm old. I don't like change. I don't like this at all. What is happening? Okay, so we do have Corey Baumeister here. Just got into Roanoke yesterday. After a 7 million hour drive.
7 million, yeah. 20 hours.
From the southern tip of Chile. It's all through the Americas, or, the barren wasteland that is North Dakota.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a long drive, but it's beautiful through Virginia. It's a lot better of a drive than North Dakota, believe it or not.
Why John Denver wrote a song about it.
Oh, yeah. My fiance played it immediately when we got into Virginia, too. I even called it. She's like, I need to play one. I was like, you playing Country Road?
That is perfect.
Yeah.
So Corey's going to be joining us for Versus Live here and out. We're going to be switching in with the three of us, the two of us and Todd Anderson. And I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, man. I've done it once before with Brad, but...
now you get better than Brad.
Yeah, upgrading, huh?
See how that works. Corey's been a longtime player now on the Pro Tour side of things.
Yep.
Hit gold at least for a couple years.
Yeah, hit gold, missed platinum barely 2 years in a row. So that was I wanted it at least once, but I'll settle with being forever gold.
Yeah, several Grand Prix top eights, including at least one win.
Yep, one win New Jersey with the old Infinite Cats.
Yes, messed up.
That was.
And now you're going to be here on the SCG side of things.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I'm excited.
We'll see you a bit on the SCG tour as well as on Versus Live.
Yep, I'll be starting in Philly.
Yeah, this is going to be great. And you came here at a great time because it is NBA free agency time, and we have director Kyle here in also helping Travis out. And Kyle, if you didn't know, is a fan of the Charlotte Hornets, and they're going to suck. Like really, really bad.
That is why I came at this specific time, because I knew about his Hornet fans.
It's very unfair just because Utah, for a change, had a very good offseason.
Yeah, like the best in their entire franchise history. Everything is coming up Millhouse, as the kids say.
As the kids say.
So great time to come in. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games and Carnox Chairs. And also another reason that you got here right in time. These have only been here for about a month, and they are awesome.
Yeah, I'm waiting till we get these for our personal use. Are they coming in the mail?
Todd's been barking up that tree ever since we saw these. So maybe if we join forces, our powers combined, we can get these in our homes.
How mad would he be if I got one before he did?
Very.
Okay.
So now I'm kind of hoping that happens.
For trolling aspects, Cedric, you listening?
Troll value is very high, and I know Cedric appreciates that as well.
I think so.
And if you appreciate these chairs, you can check them out at carnox.com/SCG and pick one up for yourself.
Yep. I've never seen so many modes on a chair. There's like 8 different things I can do. It's insane.
Know. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
It is
the right combination, it'll fold into itself.
If only that would make them easier to transport to opens. Yeah. I'm sure the directors would enjoy that.
Yeah.
So we are now in the middle of preview season for Core Set 2020.
New standard.
I know, Corey, you're a big standard player.
Oh, yeah.
That's your format of choice.
I think I'd rank it like Christmas, like Halloween a little bit below, and then new standard right above. So this was the perfect week to come to be able to play some of the new cards and see how much they impact standard.
Yeah.
And as far as a core set, this is a way more impactful core set than I've seen, previous core sets.
Interesting. I've been a little bit more, dampened in my expectations for this set. I see a lot of big creatures and a standard format that is really hostile to those things with all the Teferis going around. But I do think there are some important tools that can shift things around, and we're going to be featuring a lot of them in 6 decks today, starting with an Izzet deck, which, if you could guess, was sent to us by Todd Anderson. He likes Izzet decks.
He does love his Phoenix. Wilderness Reclamation or Izzet decks more? What do you think?
Well, he pairs his Wilderness Reclamation with Izzet cards.
Izzet. Smart. Yeah. Smart man.
Exactly. Like any card he likes, you just add blue and red with it, and then the deck is perfect.
Yeah.
But in this case, he gets to be pure Izzet, which is his preferred mode. This is going to be an Izzet Phoenix deck. And what's the new card in it?
Chandra. We got the Chandra 3 converted mana cost joining the party.
What's the name of this one?
Yeah, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I think I got it right here.
We're professionals. It's the rare one, the good one.
The good one.
Yeah, I was going to guess that. I should have.
I just say 3 converted mana cost, Chandra. I probably got to get better at these names.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Well, you got time.
Perfect.
I got time to get you up to speed. But Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, a really nice card for attacking planeswalkers.
Yep.
And that's one of the hallmarks of this Izzet Phoenix deck. Arclight Phoenix is great at pressuring planeswalkers. You got a lot of burn that can finish them off if need be.
Exactly.
And this just continues that theme while giving you a powerful threat that matches up well against spot removal.
Yep. No, I think it's great because it's a planeswalker that can really pivot, like attack if it needs to. Most of the time, put shocking them right when it comes into play, and then late game still refilling your hand with the negative ability to like cast Chart of Course or whatever. I think it'll be a pretty nice versatile card.
Refill your hand, get your spell count up so that you can return some Phoenixes that are sitting in your yard, or dig, for one of your other big threats, the Blue God. What's
Capnet?
There we go. That one.
I'm crushing it.
Yeah. Once we get to modern, that'll be mine.
That'll be yours. Okay.
Standard cards.
We'll be yin to yang here.
Yeah, we'll fit together nicely.
Yeah, and I think even just bringing back Lava Coil when you need to kill a Spellbreaker, like I think Gruul is still going to be, very powerful. It's still one of the top tier decks. You're going to need to be able to be, casting a lot of removal spells on time. I'll be interested to see, if these decks that we chose can keep up with Esper still. Esper's still the boogeyman of the format. We'll see if they have the power to keep up with them.
Yeah, and speaking of Gruul, that's what I'm going to be playing in our first match
Just
today.
A standard Gruul, right? Just standard, easy, basic Gruul Spellbreakers.
We do have Gruul
Kindling Phoenixes, Hellkites, right? Standard stuff.
We're going old school, like 65 million years old school. We're playing some dinosaurs.
Oh, dinos.
Yes. This is a list from Andrew Ellenbogen's recent article. So if you go to StarCityGames.com, you can check that out. And there are 2 new cards in the deck that I think are very powerful. The first is Marauding Raptors. Very solid 2-drop, 2-mana, 2/3, very easily pumped, and also helps ramp you. So it's this mana creature that survives shock, the same way Paradise Druid does, but it gets into combat a lot more easily. Sometimes it'll let you double spell and effectively get 2 mana out of it. And then the pump ability is super good with Enrage. So we've got Ripjaw Raptor in the 4 slot.
Yeah,
we've got Register Alpha in the 5 slot, which will double trigger it, turn it into 6 power. And then we've got Shifting Ceratops, this incredible 4-mana 5/4, a reasonable rate already, with 7 million abilities.
Yeah, it has 3 lines of text.
Yeah, you pay a green and it just does anything.
Yeah.
It can get flying, get trample, and get protection from islands. It'll get you a date for the prom. Whatever you need it to do. Just pay a green, do whatever you want. That's what the card says.
Yeah, so the one thing about dinos is the 2-drop that added mana became a 3/3 if you had a dino. The name's escaping me there. Drover the Mighty.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, Drover the Mighty was so close to being great in that deck, but it had a couple problems. It died to Chain Whirler's ability, plus it could be killed by a shock. This still pumps and lets you accelerate the dinos with having a higher upside. I think this is exactly what the Dino Tribe needed to push it into, from tier 4 to, back up to at least tier 2.
Yeah. I agree. I think you needed to be a ramp deck because the dinosaurs, the really good dinosaurs, are high on the curve.
Exactly.
So you want to get to them and you want to get to them quickly, but everybody's playing all this cheap removal because there's a lot of good mana creatures in the set and mono red that you need to answer early. And this deck, playing it on time, the dinosaurs just weren't quite as powerful.
Yeah.
So you really needed that. You were more dependent on the acceleration than other versions of Gruul. And that was a sort of a death knell. Now you've got this effective mana creature that also is an aggressive creature that also has synergy with one of the main dinosaur mechanics.
Yeah, that also drawing you cards. It
also does everything. Yeah, so dinosaurs do everything. I guess. I guess that's why they ruled the Earth for 200 million years.
I guess. I don't want to see a dino at the prom, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I don't know what kind of prom you went to, but I would have loved to see a dinosaur. That would have been great. I need to see a dinosaur and Jeff Goldblum. That's all I need.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to get into it.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited to play some Magic.
You haven't been here, so...
And not in a long time. Me and my brother did one a long time ago, but...
Currently, Todd is holding the marbles, though.
He has the marbles, yes. That's what I've been coming for, is these marbles. Yeah.
So until one of us beats Todd, the marbles are just going to stay there.
Okay.
So that means we have to roll to go first, which means I need another die.
That's why you switch sides. They're on your side now, huh? Wow, I got God already from the beginning, huh?
Got to get up pretty early.
Smart. All right.
I got a 6.
Easy to beat. And we're off to a good start.
Man.
All right, I'll take the play.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, my friend. All right.
Travis, we got any questions over there while we're drawing our opening hand?
Yeah, there were a few.
Make sure you tag at SEG Tour in the chat so Travis can see them.
Golf Kid 1 wants to know if you think vampires or zombies have a chance to impact standard before they rotate out.
I'll take this one. I think for sure vampires. I was watching a little bit of the streamer event yesterday where people were playing the new cards a little bit early. I just think the deck showed so much promise. Everybody on their post tweets after the event was saying that vampires was the thing that impressed them most. And that new Sorin, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I think that's going to be a deck that's going to live on because you can play these vampires that draw you cards, and even if you get your board wrapped away, they're replenishing themselves. Kind of similar to like what Mono Blue did for Mythic Championship 1. Like, it didn't matter if you lost your board because your cards would be replenishing themselves. And I think Vampires has the staying power to kind of do something similar.
Yeah, and it's turn 3, putting Champion of Dusk onto the battlefield is so powerful. So I'm
with an active Planeswalker, you know?
I'm in on this vampire thing. I looked into zombies when I was brewing for today. Didn't see enough. So I would say nay to zombies, but vampires, we're going to see those around.
Yep. All right.
Let's get it started.
Head Poncho is also asking about like the Cavaliers, if you think any of those would see play.
I don't know. I've been thinking about where to put them, but it's hard to find a slot. They're 5-mana creatures that like just sort of get bounced, but they have reasonable ETB effects. Like, the jury's out for me on those. I've got to think more about just what home they have.
Yeah, when we look at 5 converted mana cost creatures, you know, I think of like Gear Hulks and stuff, and it's just like, no, they're not that power level, you know. So I would say jury's out as well on that.
It's also like the triple color is tough because they're mostly going into 3-color decks. You know, so making the mana work on those is hard as well. So that there is some barriers, and
we do have great mana base now in standard, but you know. Not even for long. We're losing some here pretty soon. But
for the next 2 months, we'll work on them, and I'm sure you'll see. We'll definitely play some of them over the next week and a half, and then we'll have a better idea. But for now, I'm skeptical. But
I'm still setting up my computer at home, so I have not had time to do any brewing. So it's still this weekend. I get to just go into Christmas land and new Magic cards.
Corey's been in Roanoke for about 24 hours at this point.
Not even. Yep, we've cleaned up our house, and that's about it. And then I came here. So
okay. Well, let's get started.
I'm gonna keep.
Ooh, that was fast.
Oh yeah.
Your hand must be great.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my hand's also great, so we're good.
We'll see if it lines up well to yours. But
well, if you know anything about me on Versus Live, you know I have Turn 1 Land Royals every game. But
every
you probably
time?
have the shock.
Well, if you know anything about me in Standard, I always have the Turn 1 shock. All right, so now we got some options here. That was a nice little spicy draw. I think I want to save Chart a Course until I can actually get a little bit more value. So we're going to see really how my luck is going to be.
3 cards on the bottom.
I'm going to try to rearrange the bottom 3 cards of my library. Oh, this is going to be a good series. We have choices. Choices.
Brad, you didn't tell me how lucky he was.
All right, so let's see here. We probably just want to go with the higher power card here in the form of Finale. Opt, since we already have one, not too important.
Got to reveal the card here.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. You don't believe me?
You could be taking a Kefna. Nobody knows.
All right, your turn.
Chat's certainly not going to keep you in line.
Wanted me to ask for Ross to get out of his seat. He said he was saving that for Corey.
Yeah. Miss you, bro.
I got a Growth Chamber Guardian. When you left, these chairs weren't here. So
yeah, these chairs are nice. Okay, we'll see about that. That was a spicy one.
Are they just all spicy?
This is pretty spicy.
I didn't realize anything in North Dakota was spicy. I thought it was land of mayonnaise.
Land of mayonnaise.
Iceberg
it's
lettuce.
Ranch, okay?
Ranch dressing, yeah.
Don't insult me like that. So we're going to shock that. We're going to get in there for 1.
19.
All right. And then we'll draw a couple. And then we'll say go.
That is a strong start from the Izzet.
Yeah, not bad. So we had the option to play this, but I did not want to give Roth the chance to make a 4/4 here, since I do not have a Lava Coil.
Okay, well, I will make a 4/4.
Okay.
To try to play around potential lightning strikes.
We got a Lava Coil.
And pass the turn.
All right. So, let's see here. We got plenty of options.
Question is, are any of them good options?
Yeah, they're a little rough here. I feel like we can do a lot of things that can like spin our wheels here. Nothing really to effectively impact the board too much right now. Well, I think we're just, I mean, we got to play the new cards, right? We got to play the new cards and see how they are. We're going to go with Chandra.
Ooh, black dice for Planeswalkers.
Oh, black dice. Okay, sorry, I'm a noob. All right, so we'll start this at 4. Now, making the elemental is not really a big deal right now. Getting in for 1. Can't really cast anything effective. I think we're just going to put a counter on this and ship it back.
Okay. Well, let's start working this thing down. Let's smash it for 4.
All right. I don't really care about the negative ability right now. We don't really have a lava coil or anything effective in the graveyard. Actually, first I'm going to opt.
Okay. Reasonable to get information before making your blocking decision.
Exactly. All right. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to block. I'm going to absorb some of this.
Okay.
So we're going to take 1. Yep. And that was all because of our draw step here that I wanted to do that because I got a plan for next turn for you.
Interesting. So I assume that plan involves killing Gruul Spellbreaker.
I wouldn't do you like that.
And protecting the Chandra, which means I think I want to extend even into the finale, which I really didn't want to do with this second copy of Growth Chamber Guardian.
Okay.
But I'm worried that he might have, like shock, then finale shock plus Charter Course for the 5th land, something like that.
That'd be spicy.
Yeah, and then the Chandra goes unanswered. So let's just extend our board as much as we can and play a 2/2. Pass the turn.
And you have 4 cards?
3.
3. Oh, yes.
I don't draw any extra cards. I'm Gruul. I literally just say the word Gruul over and over again until someone dies.
Smart. All right. Well, it's going to be tough without the 5th land here. Drawing a little bit of redundancy here. Another Tormenting Voice is not exactly what we wanted.
Definitely
got to be a lot better if these cards can block. Can we change that text here?
They just have to attack or something?
They just died at the end.
Oh, they sacrificed. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that makes sense.
Well,
They stayed around. That card be busted.
that would be absolutely busted. Interesting. I think we just want to fire off one of these finales here, get some value, and then I think we can just tick up Chandra so that Gruul Spellbreaker can't actually deal with it. Yeah, we're going to start with that. Okay. So we will finale here for 2. We'll go with chart and shock. I'm going to shock this and then resolve chart. Okay, what do we want to discard? I think we're gonna, so the main thing I look at when we have our graveyard here is we don't have any effective sorceries that we could cast off another finale. So I want to make sure that if I do draw another finale, that I can have access to a good one. So I'm going to discard a sorcery here.
Yeah. Can't get lucky if you don't try.
Exactly. I'm going to play this. No, can't do anything too great here, but I want to keep the Chandra alive, so I'm going to do the 0 to put a counter on it to keep it out of Spellbreaker range, and then I'm going to pass it back.
Well, I'm going to shock it on end step to get it in Spellbreaker
No, I was trying to
range.
keep it out of range.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep it
that's
out.
how we do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think one thing this Planeswalker is lacking is a way to defend itself, by itself. I think that is a big problem when it comes to this.
5 loyalty can be a lot,
Yeah.
but not affecting the battlefield to defend is definitely a big deal.
Exactly. But in reality, I'm kind of happy that these red Planeswalkers are not insane because, we've seen the years of Chandra, Torch Defiance, and Standard. Like,
We still have a Chandra in Standard.
yeah, we do not need mono red to be taking rain, once again for, 6 months.
Okay, I'm going to play Domri and attack the Chandra for 5 now. So
It's dead.
Had I known I was drawing Domri, I would not have used the shock.
I appreciate that.
C'est la vie.
Shock doesn't have that many great targets, though, to be fair. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will plus the Domri, make a mana that's useless, and pass the turn.
All right. Where are these Arclight Phoenixes? Did we add those to the deck, or did we forget?
I think Todd has all of them. Todd owns every copy of Arclight Phoenix in existence.
He just keeps them at home, huh?
Besides the 4 that are in my modern deck.
How lucky. Okay, well.
He was kind enough to let me borrow 4.
So now we got some options here. We can deal with this Spellbreaker here with Finale of Promise on 1 plus Lightning Strike, getting back Shock. Oh, then we don't have a sorcery here, so that seems kind of weak. We can try to spin the dice a little bit here and go Finale of Promise for 2, going Tormenting Voice plus Shock on the Spellbreaker, and then hoping to get a land. It's a little risky. I think there's no point in taking this risk just because, it's not pressuring us that much here. So I think
You're still at 20.
Yeah, we're gonna go for some value plays here. I'm gonna start with throwing a mountain onto the ground. Okay.
Smart.
I'm gonna start with the Charter Course. I could go Tormenting Voice, but there's nothing I immediately want to discard right now. So go like this.
And if you were to draw double Arclight Phoenix, say.
That'd be nice.
Sit.
All right, so I think we just want to get rid of this, play a land, deal with the Spellbreaker. Yeah, we're going to go like that. I feel like this is kind of a lot of resources, and maybe discarding the land was something we'd want to do, but yeah, we'll just double Lightning Strike that. Get that out of there. All right, we'll pass it to you.
Okay. Well, now we have... I guess we got our 5th mana before, but...
I'm terrified.
We have it anyway.
Okay.
Let's play a Regisaur Alpha.
That seems good.
Get a Dinosaur and attack for 4 with it. Pump
4?
The Domri.
All right, down to 16.
And we'll keep pumping this up because we
All
don't have
right.
anything to fight.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Yeah, Domri not that effective in this matchup, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not the matchup for it.
Okay, well, now we got some options here. Let's fan out this graveyard. I'm immediately thinking of finaling for Lightning Strike plus a Charter Course, getting rid of that Dino. Leaving 1 Dino on the field with 1 card in hand. I'm sure it's another big spell, hoping not a Carney T or something. You wouldn't do me like that, right? All right, so we're going to start with that here. Finale of Promise for 2 with Charter Course and Lightning Strike. Doesn't really matter the order. We'll Lightning Strike the token and then Chart. All right, that's pretty strong here.
Sounds like a Phoenix. Oh.
No, God, no. I mean, we haven't seen any of those since.
How would we do that?
I haven't seen any of those since I was back in North Dakota. All right, and then this shock is kind of pointless here, so we're just going to Tormenting Voice, get rid of it, and then okay, that's much better. Your turn.
Okay. Well, I do have another big spell in my hand,
Not cool.
but it's not a current Steiner. It's just another Regisaur Alpha.
Oh, perfect. I can deal with 57 power coming at
It's
me.
actually going to be 14.
14.
Seeing as they all have haste.
All right.
Double Alpha will do
So
that.
now we have to top deck just to stay alive.
So,
Yeah,
14
10,
damage brings you to 2.
14. Okay,
We'll keep
down to
plussing
2.
the Domri. And
Seems
I guess I'll
good.
Play a land.
All right. Well, we have a couple decent draws. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That was one of the couple decent draws that we had. Guns a-blazing here. Your turn. I would have liked those earlier to stem my bleeding, but I'll take it here.
Okay, I drew a
Shock.
shock.
Oh my god! Is this what you have to deal with on a daily basis? This kind of luck? Wow!
Okay.
Wow!
One. Todd is the one that always top decks burn spells.
Yeah, is that why you own the marbles?
Yeah.
I had Kevin coming down here to have some fun.
Maybe it's just this side of the table.
I think so.
The marbles right now, Ross. You're sitting in my chair.
That's why he said he transferred to that side. Yeah. All right, good game. Good game.
We're learning today. It's just this side of the table.
All right, all right.
Solid,
That was a good
solid
game.
opening game there.
I really just needed a threat. Like, I was spinning my wheels for so often. Like,
Yeah.
any kind of Phoenixes, even just to play defensive, would have been excellent. 1 Phoenix to play defensive, because I was casting 3 spells, like, every single turn.
Yeah, definitely. Spent a little bit too long and then didn't have the right removal early.
Yeah.
If you had the coils early, the strikes a little bit later, and they lined up a little better, you would have been at more than 2 life. The shock would have been bad.
Exactly. I had one line where I finale'd and I could have discarded the 6th land, but then I couldn't have double Lightning Striked. So I was only down to 2 cards after that, so I used a lot of my resources, but I think I had to because, dinos hit. And they hit hard. They don't play nice.
No, they do not. So we're going to take a quick break here while we get some sideboarding lined up, and we will be back in just a second. So don't go anywhere.
All right. Welcome back. So we are doing a little sideboarding here. I am going to be taking out shocks just because, land, and I'm going to be on the play. So I want to be more focused on shocks when I'm on the draw to hedge against Llanowar Elves, be able to stop your turn 3 or your turn 2 3-drop. But I'm bringing in just a better shock with Shiv and Fire, which can kind of kill anything. Steal a couple creatures, the 4th Lava Coil, and then I wish I had more Kevin Bacon Bolts, as I like to call them, or Beacon Bolt.
Wish you were a little bit more footloose.
Yeah, a little bit more footloose. And then here, I'm a little unsure of whether or not to take out all the Augurs Gargoyle Boluses, because they do not block very well against dinos. 1-3 is not going to kill anything unless you're trying to get busy with Llanowar Elves.
I am one to get busy with Llanowar Elves.
Are you?
To be fair.
That's your MO, huh?
Not usually into a 1-3, but
I'm not sure about Chandra, of course, since it's a new card. On the draw, I think it's pretty bad since it doesn't actually defend itself. But on the play, I think it can be pretty reasonable. And then shave on a Tormenting Voice as well, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah. What do you got?
So with Corey bringing in a lot of good removal that matches up better against my creatures, I need to be preparing for a longer game. So I am also upgrading my removal. Like we're taking out our Shocks and Domri's Ambushes and getting removal that matches up well against, Arclight Phoenix and Lava Coil. We've got now Collision and Vivian Reed to handle Kefnet. And, Collision can also, or Colossus can help us, finish Corey off or deal with a Planeswalker or something like that.
Dodge a removal is usually a pretty big thing for that as well.
Yep. And then Vivian Reed, giving us some card advantage and staying power in the longer game. Yep. And then a couple Thrashing Brontons that come in because I think they're just an upgrade over our other threats.
Yep.
Domri's not really fighting anything. And if it's not fighting anything, it's not a very good card.
It really isn't, yeah.
And then just because I have the space, I'm trimming one Growth Gemmer Guardian because it just dies so easily to Shock and Shiv and Fire.
Yep.
And it's not a card that I want to expend a lot of mana into because then Corey can get ahead on tempo, but is coiling it that I've spent 5 mana on, get ahead with Arclight Phoenixes, and I'm not really going to have time to leverage the extra card advantage. That might not play out as much in the post-board games where you have a lot more removal. Maybe I do want this, but for now, I think 3 is fine.
I think it's also like a way for the Gruul deck to fall really far behind is... I see this all the time on Arena, people trying to like aggressively adapt this against a Shock deck. Like it just, whenever they go to adapt and you get to Shock and untap, it's just like the game feels over.
Yeah, I agree. The game is done.
But I think another way that the game just feels over is if I have a hand that's very reactive to your creatures and you drop a Vivian and tick up, I'm like, well, that's it, boys, So I can double Lightning Strike or something, but Vivian's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, this is definitely our long game card, and we've seen it for a year now. Card is very powerful. Yeah. So we're gearing up for a little bit longer game here. Yeah. But, if I just slam a couple Reds or Alphas, the game might end too.
But it's kind of crazy that Vivian fell out for a long time, and then Andrew Cuneo and Huey Jensen at this last Mythic Championship played him in the sideboard, and I tested him out. I'm like, wow, did people forget about this card? This card is insane, Yeah.
I think the way the format shifted, it wasn't as good against some of the Planeswalker decks, but when they got pushed up by the Esper decks, it was a lot better in that matchup.
Exactly. And people see Nissa, and they're like, ooh, shiny new toy. And I mean, Nissa is probably the best card in Standard right now, but,
Strong endorsement.
The card's busted.
But, Vivian's still more than serviceable, and especially good sideboard in these aggressive decks.
Exactly. When a lot of decks are trying to pivot to deal with creatures, it's just exactly what you want from the Gruul deck. So,
okay. What do you got from us over there, Travis?
Rage90 wants to know how many of the ley lines you think we'll see play in Standard and where do they kind of slot in?
I'm not that high on any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all reprinted, right?
The red and green ones are new.
Red and green ones are new. Okay, gotcha.
The green one certainly has a pretty high upside. When you play that and then start on Llanowar Elves, you make 4 mana on turn 2. That's super powerful, but also takes a lot. It's pretty hard to have 2 different 4-ofs in your opening hand, probably about 20% to do that, and then have it survive on top of that. And those cards are just so weak when you draw them later in the game. Standard, unlike Modern, is not a format where you're burying your opponent on the first 3 turns.
Exactly.
Sometimes, you do curve out, but you got to be prepared to play these 10-turn games. And that means you need to set up your deck so that the top of your deck is good in those scenarios. Exactly. And the ley lines are pretty bad.
Yep. I think, you said it right. Like, Standard's all about resources right now. So starting down a card for an effect that is kind of situational at times, it's usually not exactly what the doctor ordered, you know? Yeah.
Even our red decks are prepared to play those long games.
Exactly.
Chandra and Experimental Frenzy.
Treasure Map and stuff like that. Yeah. Whenever I'm sideboarding against red, it feels so weird because it's like, normally you think to sideboard against these hyper-aggressive strategies, but red's pretty slow towards the end. Like, you're at 17 on turn 6 most of the time. Like, you're effectively dead because they have, Frenzy and stuff like that, but...
but they haven't been hitting you hard and fast. So,
exactly. It's not the rush draw.
I'm not in for those.
Yep.
One Would Fall wants to know which of the enemy color hate cards would be the most impactful.
I think Corey and I were actually talking about this before we went live, and we're both pretty high on Fry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At least for the next couple of months with this Teferi dominating format, a card that answers all the Teferis, Narset, and Lyra Dawnbringer is really, really powerful.
And still a serviceable card against White Weenie. I mean, that's completely fine. Those kind of narrow cards that say deal with a specific color, like you really want those to be able to target more than one deck, because if they're just for one deck, you usually don't have enough sideboard slots to include it. You want a versatile card in pretty much every standard deck right now.
Yeah.
So I think Fry is nice, though.
Yeah. I do think they're all quite powerful. I actually wrote an article about them from last week. So if you want longer thoughts on that, you can check that one out.
Yep.
They're definitely all powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if they all see play during their time in standard, but we don't really know what the format's going to look like in the fall. The format right now, we do know what it looks like, and Fry is the one that matches up well against what's going on.
And I think the nice thing about standard, at least this standard right now, with it ever changing so much that, these cards might not be played a lot right now, but eventually a new deck's going to kind of rise to the top, and then you're going to have these situational cards to put into it. And I think that's what makes a really healthy format, is being able to adjust to the top decks, with these high impact sideboard slots.
What's give standard its trademark dynamic nature, where every week to week things are really change. So,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on any of them because they don't see play for the next couple months. But for now,
exactly, keep them in the back of your mind in case the deck starts rising to the top.
Yeah, one more.
Twisted Ear wants to know. Sorry, it scrolled on me. Should you keep a Grafdigger's Cage on the board for the Phoenix matchup in Standard, or basically, do you think Grafdigger Cage will impact Standard?
Stops Arclight and Finale.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on the deck, right? Because if Arclight Phoenix is already bringing in Abrades like against humans, it's not as impactful.
We're talking about standard.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot Cage was. Yeah. Okay, that's right.
It also stops people from casting cards with Frenzy.
Yeah, it does. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it around. With things like the two different Karns. Like if you're a Karn, the Great Creator deck, you can have a Cage in your sideboard for sure.
Yep.
As for what sideboards it's going to make it into, that's tough to say. I would generally rather have a removal spell that will answer an Arclight Phoenix than this more narrow card like Grafdigger's Cage. But if you're a deck that doesn't really have a great answer to Phoenix, or you really need the card to stop Phoenix and something else, this stopping Frenzy too, that versatility might be enough to push it into some sideboards. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
It seems kind of off to have like that as a 3 or a 4 of, because if you ever draw the second one, it's immediately dead. But I really like it in that, especially the mono red artifact decks that we're going to be seeing a little later. Like having the Karn toolboxing for that, it seems amazing there. But
definitely because it's a narrow card, you want it in small numbers, but pretty powerful within the context of the format.
Yeah, so, it definitely seems like a one of for sure to include. Like doesn't seem like a lot of downside, but bringing in 3 of them seems a little iffy.
Yeah, that's a lot of diminishing returns on that card.
Yeah. All right, so I'm first because you got lucky. Because I lost, right?
Better lucky than good.
Okay. Wow, this is a good one. I don't think I'm feeling this lucky. How far can Kevin go here? We're going to ship this one back. And for anybody out there that is not sure of when the new London Mulligan rule comes out, it's today. It's today on Arena. We're going to be doing that now, so this mulligan's going to be
today
not
on
as
Arena,
bad.
and then next week on paper with the release of the set.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to be playing with the London Mulligan, which means you get to draw 7 new cards.
I staged that hand. I knew I wanted a mulligan just to test it out.
I knew you were lucky. You come here, mulligan, but no, you still got 7. I've been dealing with 6s and 5s for 3 years. I think we did London Mulligan right when they announced it. We tested it out for a week or 2. It was super fun.
So you're saying back in the day, you mulliganed to 3 uphill both ways?
Yeah. Both games. But I won anyway. You whippersnappers.
Whippersnappers. Are you keeping your hand?
Oh, yeah. My hand's already great.
Oh, great.
I'm too old to shuffle twice.
That's fair. Wow. All right, we're maybe not off to the best start here. We're down to 5.
Well, actually, we do back-to-back 6s on versus live.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right.
Just to keep the games more interesting.
That's smart. That's
still
smart.
draw 7, but only putting 1 back.
Love it.
Let's take another question while Corey's shuffling. Sure, we got one over there. Maybe a dig on Kyle.
Tyler Durden wants to know: do you think the new Chandra's legendary artifact, the Regulator, can see play in mono red or big red?
Well, I believe we are going to see them in my next deck, which is a Sam Black Brew. And
That deck looks spicy, by the way.
it is certainly spicy, which is basically the only way Sam knows how to play.
Yep. It
But-
seems like it might have a little problem with just the Elder Spell and hand disruption in general, but
Yeah,
we're definitely going to see.
My issue with it would be it seems like a card that is often going to sort of be overkill. It's like underpowered if you don't have Chandra's, overpowered if you do, but if you do have Chandra's, do you really need it?
That's fair.
So that would be my worry, but it's definitely worth a try. It's not a card I would dismiss offhand.
All right, so this hand's definitely a keeper, but this is a tough putback here. I think it has to be Melody here, just because we don't really have the requirements to cast it, and we kind of want everything else here. It could also be Augur of Bolas here, just because it's not that high impact, and if we miss off it, it feels so bad. Actually, I think I'm going to do that, just because we already have this to discard to that, so yeah, we're going to put this at the bottom.
Okay.
All right, and your hand was perfect, you said, right?
It's not perfect, but it's good.
Okay, your turn.
Like I don't have land else.
Ah, God. How unlucky. All right, so we are going to start by charting a course. 1, 2. Oh, we got it this time. We're cooking.
Okay,
Your turn.
Not messing around
Not
now.
messing around. That draw wasn't too great for us, but...
I am starting on a Marauding Raptor.
All right, all right.
Now we can get the ball rolling.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, so that is going to be the only thing we can start by playing right now. So we're going to start with an opt.
Yep.
We do need this, so I think we have to, but not the best situation here if Ross has a nice follow-up here, but I just think we need this land drop here. So we're going to keep this. All right, and then we're going to go like this and ship it back to you.
Okay.
This could be bad.
That's a card. Okay. I will start with a Rootbound Crag.
Okay.
I will play a Marauding Raptor.
Okay. So it deals 2 to it.
So deals 2 to it. This gets +2/+0.
With the trigger on the stack,
Yeah.
I'm going to Shiv and Fire.
Sure. I expected a shock there, and now
It wasn't a shock though, man.
Yeah. It's a shock nonetheless.
Yeah.
We'll play a Gruul Spellbreaker now.
Okay.
Which would normally die when I have 2 Marauding Raptors, but fortunately Corey killed the first one.
Yeah, maybe that was a misplay on my part. But.
I still think I should just make it a 4/4, even though I am dealing a pretty good chunk of damage.
Yep.
I just want to stress Corey's lava coils. So this will deal 2 and pump the raptor, or no, it's only if a dinosaur. So this doesn't get pumped again.
Okay.
So we're still only attacking for 4.
And it does it even if the dino would be killed, right? The dinosaur's dealt damage. Okay, so I'll take 4, down to 16.
And you're up.
All right, we got some dinos to deal with.
Got a nice little double spell turn off of the Marauding Raptor.
Okay, so this is a pretty solid draw here. We have a lot of good options here. We can either cast this to be able to bring Phoenix back, or we can cast this as a strong play. This is definitely not what we want to be doing here, and this just leads me to believe, especially if we win this game, on the draw, I think I have to take out all of these. It's just... I think the best time to cast this is when you can immediately negative it for a removal spell to be able to deal with a creature, which we cannot do right now. So...
A lot of options. I don't like
options
when Corey has options. I want land drop, mediocre spell, go.
Yeah, yeah. Not the case. All right. Well, I think we're going to start with Finale to be able to draw some cards here. We're just going to go chart the course and opt. So the correct way to always stack this is if you're online, you click chart a course first, so it goes on the bottom of the stack. So opt resolves first, so you can maximize your chances of getting another Arclight Phoenix and really punishing here. So we're going to opt.
Now, if you already have the Arclight Phoenix in hand that you want to discard, then you'll want to do it the other way. See which cards you draw first before you make the decision on your scry with opt.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so we have a land here, something that we do want, but with the fact that we are going to be drawing a total of 3 cards, I'm going to be a little greedy and put it on the bottom. 4 cards even with our draw step. So we're going to draw off opt, and then we're going to draw 2 off chart. No such luck here.
I like the getting greedy Arclight Phoenixes.
All right. I think we're going to discard Steam Vents here.
Those are exiled.
Oh, yeah, exiled. Sorry about that. And then we will, beginning of combat, bring this back and ship it to you.
Shipping it to me. Wants to play some defense.
Defense.
That is a nice one.
That is. I don't like that.
Well, let's play a Ripjaw Raptor.
Okay.
Now, it'll take 2 from the Marauding Raptor, and then we'll draw a card.
All right. Seems solid.
That's what we in the business like to call synergy. And I don't want to trade my Marauding Raptor for Arclight.
I'll block
Phoenix.
here. Yeah.
So let's just get in with the 4/4 Spellbreaker.
I'll go to 12.
And we've got a tap Stomping Ground to follow up.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. So now we definitely need to start dealing with Rust's creatures, which we are going to be doing.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So Ripjaw Raptor is a tough one for your deck to deal with.
It is a tough one. We're going to start by stealing your 4/4.
That's pretty good.
All right. And we have the option of getting in for 3. Really not important right now. Or being able to halt the Marauding Raptor a little bit. And I think that's way more valuable. So we're going to ship it to you.
Okay. That is a sweet one.
Stop drawing sweet ones.
What do we want to do with that? I think I want to use this to deal with the Spellbreaker.
Someone's got a lava coil.
I may.
Hey, it's a lot better than a Savage Stomp or something. Boink, gotcha.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be.
Question is how I want to do things. I could play this one. That gets in a pretty fair amount of damage. That. Now, I think I just want to start with an attack.
Okay. We're going to block.
Okay. I am going to Colossus.
Seems good.
That'll deal with the Phoenix and deal 4 damage on trample.
Yep.
And then 4 from this.
So take an 8.
Go to
down
4,
to 4.
And then we'll coil the Spellbreaker.
All righty.
Pass
We
the
in
turn.
trouble. We in trouble. We really need a land to even have a chance of staying alive here, I think. Oh, we got it. I don't know if this is going to be enough. So now we got options. We can just Melody away Ripjaw Raptor, but then we just die to any dino, right?
Yep.
Okay, that seems pretty rough. Or we can just start by going like this, discarding Chandra. Chandra so far has not been great against these dino strategies. It's going to be a lot better against not as hyper-aggressive strategies. Yeah.
Something like Esper, where the tokens let you deal with Planeswalker.
Exactly. Could even see it being like a very effective sideboard slot. But we'll see here. So I think we just need to be able to draw some good removal spells here to be able to bring back Arclight Phoenix and deal with Ripjaw Raptor. The problem is we don't have any great effective way to deal with Ripjaw Raptor besides the 1 Beacon Bolt, which drawing to a 1-outer is not very strong.
You already got the 5 spells, so.
Yep, we got the 5 spells. But Melody, and you have 3 cards?
Yep.
Yeah, this is tough. I think I might just have to play that you don't have a haste creature, but even a Spellbreaker kills me. Nah, that's just too many outs. So we are going to start with Tormenting Voice, discarding Chandra. That's not doing much right now. Draw. Ooh. Actually would have been quite strong if we had an extra land that was a red source. Did discard Steam Vent earlier to not take 2. Maybe that was a mistake, but all right, I guess we got 1 play to attempt to stay alive, and it's not a good one. Your turn.
4 or 5 creatures.
Yeah.
And you're at 4 life.
Yeah, so a dino.
So how about a haste dino? Because this shifting Ceratops only costs 3. So
That seems fine. That's the one that takes me to prom if it attacks, right? Okay. Cool.
It does whatever it wants.
Okay.
So green, do whatever I want, and I'm going to choose win the game.
Win the game? Okay.
We'll give it
Smart
haste.
play. Smart play.
And attack with 3 lethal creatures.
All right. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Marauding Raptor was really good that game. I didn't even think about the helping shifting Ceratops by making that cheaper specifically, so you have the mana to activate it.
Yeah.
On regular curve. So, and then double spelling. I double spelled on turn 3, which is really early to do that in standard. Normally,
On turn 3 through disruption.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I shiv and fired. Maybe that was a mistake that I shiv and fired that.
I definitely should have played them in the other order though, right? Because then
they don't kill themselves.
Yeah, you get to shiv and fire the second 2/3 still, so it's the same outcome. But your play is forced at that point, so you can't shiv. But if you just didn't Shivan Fire, I wouldn't have been able to play the Spellbreaker.
Sure. So I helped you out.
yeah.
I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was just, I was helping you out on that play.
Yeah. But still, like that was a really, really strong curve. You know, I was able to go 2-drop into double spell, into Ripjaw Raptor, draw a card, into double removal spell, and a haste creature.
Yep. And I mean, the thing is, if that was like a Drover the Mighty or, you know, any kind of other accelerant, I had the Shivan Fire right away, and I could have interacted and then been fine because I could have got Kefnet on the board and then started meloding your stuff as you played them. Then they would have been untapped. The whole thing was meloding your tapped creatures. I was just so tempoed out of the game that there's nothing I could do. You know, I had one line where I could have melodied the 2-drop, the Raptor, and then hope to draw another land to melody the Spellbreaker. But I think it was better to get back the Phoenix to defend and start drawing some cards to develop my hand. But that was my major decision point of that game, and maybe it was a mistake. But,
Though I don't, at that point, I'm not sure if either one gets you there. And like, even if that 2-drop is a Paradise Druid, a mana creature that dodges shock, you know, on my next turn, I can't double spell. Effectively, the Dinosaur Ripjaw, or the Marauding Raptor made 2 mana. So it got me to 5 on turn 3. The Paradise Druid would only get me to 4. So maybe I play Ripjar after that turn. You shock the 2-1 at that point when it's tapped. And I just have the 4/5 on the battlefield. I didn't draw an extra card. And you know, I played the next 2 creatures out again one at a time because I was stuck on 4 mana. And you have a lot more time to get back into that game, get your Kefnet down, start gaining an advantage that way. Maybe even save your finale and target removal spells. Just a lot more options available to you, but so much mana advantage early from that Marauding Raptor. And then attacking for 4 consistently
is insane.
It was a 2-drop that made 2 mana on turn 3 and attacked for 12 damage.
That card's insane, and dodged the very cheap effect of removal. If I had a Lightning Strike or Lava Coil, might have been a little different, but I feel this is already a pretty favorable matchup for Gruul. Like, Gruul kind of does stomp down just with the high toughness of this, and like we saw the power of Collision Colossus basically doing anything you want, you know? I mean, fighting through on combat to get through that max amount of damage, or dealing with Kefnet. I mean, it's so much better than a narrow shock post board. You really get to upgrade your threats and your answers.
My removal matches up a lot better against your threats than yours do against mine. So
exactly. Like, I have to leave in Lightning Strike, which it's dead against half your deck. So
as long as I make my Spellbreakers 4/4s, then Lightning Strike's not doing a whole lot.
Exactly.
So Marauding Raptor, which that was better than I even thought the card would be, and I was high on it when I read it. But that's as good as I could have imagined it. It just did. I can't remember a 2-drop both applying pressure and giving you that kind of tempo advantage.
I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
That is not something that I've seen a 2-drop really ever do in Standard.
I always thought it was just dinos that got cheaper. The fact that it's all creatures, like even just playing a Rekindling Phoenix on turn 3, if you're going that route, like right now, if like Phoenix is really high and like there's a lot of Lava Coils, I think Rekindling Phoenix is kind of at an all-time low. But I mean, if it shifts in such a way where there's a lot of, you know, other kind of removal spells that don't exile, like Rekindling Phoenix could come back perfectly.
Phoenix is awkward with Raptor though, because then when they kill it, Raptor will deal 2 to the egg.
Oh yeah, nice.
So not the best of synergies there.
A raptor eating the egg. That's kind of that's kind of odd.
It is. That's a flavor win.
That is a flavor win.
Not the best for putting it in your deck. But with Ripjar Raptor though, just you're 4/5 now, just cantrips. I don't know. Maybe you just want to play the 3 mana 2/3. You just get 2 mana for a 2/3 that rampant growths.
I would be shocked if this Gruul deck doesn't just absolutely annihilate mono red. Like, not only is the Chain Whirlers already getting a lot of value and basically not killing anything, you take out Llanowar Elves post board for more effective removal, but also it's just like, yes, please play Chain Whirlers. I bet they have to take it out. You know, I bet they have to take out one of their hallmark cards, you know?
And if they do that, you just leave in your Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know if they're going to, right?
This matchup.
Do we want to play a third game?
150
It's 150.
It's up to you. I'm new to the show. I don't know, you know. I just got obliterated so fast.
Yeah, let's take a question or two. I do agree that Gruul is pretty ahead in this matchup. I also do agree that Gruul is very ahead against mono red. This is the Gruul's the deck I played at the Invitational in the standard portion.
Oh, okay.
Annihilated both mono red opponents I had. I was the Ferox build. They just can't. It's too big.
Yeah, but I would be interested. Like, it's still going to have the same problems. It's still going to get obliterated by Simic Nexus. That's always been Gruul's kind of kryptonite. And as well as, you know, like I said at the beginning of the show, is Kaya's Wrath's a card. You know, that sure it has a decent amount of haste, but Ripjaw Raptor is laughable against Esper. You know, I mean, they have D-Sparks, they have Kaya's Wrath, they have all these bounce effects with Teferis and stuff like that. What you really need from the Gruul side in the Esper matchups is these haste effects like Gruul Spellbreaker. The 5-mana Dino is excellent, being able to pressure Planeswalkers, and then you can pivot to Legion War Bosses
you have shifting
post-board.
Ceratops now too, so you have you have some haste. You have 3 haste creatures already in the main deck. We've got some card advantage, you know, between Growth Chamber Guardian and Sideboard,
which is excellent in those matchups. Growth Chamber Guardian is so good,
and then we get to play Galta in this deck really easily for the Gruul Mirrors. Galta's so good with Regisaur Alpha. You get 7 power, maybe 9 when you have a Domri, and you just cast a 12/12 haste in there.
Anything where they just you both have like power toughness, like higher toughness things. Galta is exactly what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
You just can't deal with it.
It's the biggest one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's take a couple questions, and then we will get to the match, too.
Civintar just wanted to know if you considered Aether Gust for the sideboard of the Phoenix deck. That's the green-red hate counter spell that bounces permanents or counters.
So
green-red
you target a spell or a permanent, and then they choose to put that's red or green, and they choose to put it on top or bottom of their library.
Oh, I mean, it seems good at dealing with Phoenix itself, you know, but
importantly, your opponent gets the choice. So if they want the card, they can put it on top. But still, good tempo swing. It doesn't trigger the enrage cards. Can counter a Planeswalker, like stop the Planeswalker from even entering for a turn.
Definitely seems effective
against the shifting Ceratops too, right? Because it doesn't counter it.
It doesn't. It does not counter it.
Yeah, it definitely seems effective. I feel like what I really want to be doing against these Dino decks is stealing the creatures. Like, I think I would rather want to max out on Melodies to answer it and have Beacon Bolts to just straight answer the card. It's definitely interesting. I wouldn't want it in high numbers because that's just putting a Band-Aid over the problem. But, you know, stealing them or being able to kill the creature seems like what you really need to be doing. But
I do like having a mix between more expensive answers and the cheap one. You know, 2 mana is going to be so good, especially in the draw, stopping a Spellbreaker or Ripjaw Raptor if I've accelerated. You can still bring it in against mono red and it'll be fine. You can target Frenzy. Stop that for a turn or two, which is nice because that matchup is very much about a race for this deck.
Exactly.
You're not beating Frenzy going long. No, no one is, but you don't have a permanent answer to it.
And that's one thing I noticed about this deck here without Crackling Drakes too. You're not racing as well too. So I think you kind of have to choose between Augur, Bolas, and Chandra just to or Crackling Drake to be able to actually pressure the opponent. I feel that this deck is just not as aggressive and you suffer in a lot of matchups and you're really relying on Phoenix. But
I agree. The deck is not as good going long, so you do really want to apply pressure and Chandra Kefnet to help you doing that. But is that really the best way, the direction you want to take the deck, or do you want to stay with a more aggressive shell? But as we said, those color hoses are powerful, and that's another one that I could definitely see slotting into decks. But small numbers on that one.
And it could be like if you still have Chandra in, being able to negative on that card seems pretty effective. A good tempo swing there then. Yeah.
Got a couple questions here for Ross. One is from Frodo, which is Director Taylor. He wants to know how your SCG Pittsburgh went.
I think he knows already.
Pittsburgh is a great city. We had a lot of good food. Thank you to Jesse for hosting Tannen and me. His mother made dinner for us Sunday night.
Ooh,
nice.
VIP status, huh?
Oh, yeah. It was excellent. And it was wonderful. So I had a good time in Pittsburgh. And a Magic tournament happened, I think. I'm not sure.
And then Don Vito wants to know... he said Thorn Lieutenant over Growth Chamber Guardian, which I know you considered. So.
Yes, I certainly considered. So this is a list straight from Andrew Ellenbogen, but I was a little worried about the dyssynergy between Marauding Raptor and Growth Chamber Guardian. I actually had them pull some Thorn Lieutenants in case I wanted to make the swap. It didn't really come up. Yeah. So I didn't run into that dyssynergy, but I would definitely be worried about that. And I would test with Growth Chamber because I think it's a slightly more powerful card than Thorn Lieutenant, unless you're in a really heavy mono red metagame. But that is definitely something I would immediately think about because this is still a mana sink, when you have too much mana. And surviving Marauding Raptor is definitely going to be a big deal.
Still a little bit awkward with the Raptor though too. Like if they do target it, the token immediately dies. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also not. Yeah.
So then we're just 2 mana 2/3ing it up with an ability, right? I mean, which is still fine, but yeah.
You're right. It's not. It's definitely not that fine.
yeah.
Granted, if my opponent has a lightning strike, like something that's going to kill Thorn Lieutenant,
It's going to kill the
That one's
Raptor.
probably killing
Yeah,
the Raptor.
yeah.
So maybe you already have the built-in protection. Anyway, so maybe that likely doesn't come up as often. But definitely something to think about. Maybe there's a different 2-drop we want to be playing.
Yeah.
Because Marauding Raptor looks
I think
so
basically
good.
all we have to consider about the Marauder with the rest of the creatures is, are we okay losing a little bit of synergy for the raw power it has? And I think yes. I mean, like you said, 12 damage there that game. If I didn't have a lightning strike, I'm dead. I mean, you just get to crank out your hand so fast. It's so brutal.
Yeah, you're going to have some things that die to it. Like you're going to have Llanowar Elves. How many is too many is a question.
And can't you Marauder and then like play this ability on the stack, adapt, and it doesn't kill it, right?
Yeah, so at 4 mana.
4 mana, that's not bad.
That'll work. Yeah. That'll play. So yeah, maybe Growth Chamber because of that ability makes it better than Thorn Lieutenant. But
I think you said it right. If you're in a very heavy mono red metagame, Thorn Lieutenant is just a metagame call. But I think just Growth Chamber Guardian's a better card.
Yeah. Definitely a better card on average. It doesn't come up that often, but there are games where like you're in a top deck mode and you just slam that, suddenly you got 4 creatures or 3.
Yeah, and you're using so much mana effectively, and that's what Gruul really kind of struggles with is flood.
Yeah, every aggressive deck with mana creatures since the beginning of time has struggled with that because you're playing a lot of extra mana sources because those decks want to be curving out and playing their 3-drops on 2 and 4-drops on 3. So you can't miss land drops. So you need to play a normal amount of lands. Then you have the mana creatures on top of it. Which is another reason why Marauding Raptor is good because it's a mana creature that is also still effective as a creature.
Exactly.
That's always been something that's really important. It's one of the reasons that things like Incubation Druid have seen some play. I'm blanking on earlier ones, but
Paradise Druid or
Paradise Druid is good as a 2/1, but it's mainly good because it survives removal.
Exactly.
But any mana creature that you can get value out of later in the game is going to be nice. And Marauding Raptor certainly fits that bill.
Yep.
Okay,
Devoted Druid. Kills people over later in the game.
It's also the 4th. Wanted to know if you have seen any of the 3-color legendary creatures you think might impact standard from this set.
Well, I have heard good things about the Sultai one, whose name escapes me.
Yep.
And I have, in my article this week, not sure if it's going up today. If not, I'll go up later in the week, has a deck built around Kethis, the Abzan one, which functions around other legends, because I just really want to play with Mox Amber.
Yeah.
So
Mox Hammer does feel like it has the highest ceiling, but it's just the floor is so low,
Yeah. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check out my article later this week. And I'm pretty high on Kethis. I think another 3 mana 3/4 solid body makes your other not just legendary creatures or legendary planeswalkers, but all legendary spells. So your Oath of Chaos costs 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then rebuys, all your legendary cards from the graveyard late in the game. So you've got this, again, a body early, reasonably sized body for its mana cost, gives you tempo advantage by reducing the cost of your legendary cards early, and then gives you card advantage late. You exile 2 legends from your graveyard, you can cast all the other ones.
Yeah.
So that combination of early tempo and late card advantage means the card is always going to be relevant. Good early, good late, reasonable stats, and that's a strong recipe. And there's plenty of other legends to surround it. You got Sorin, you got Baby Vraska, you got Amara lower on the curve, so enough to make it work.
Yeah, or Big Vraska.
Big Vraska not so good.
Big Vraska's kind of dead.
Big Vraska got very trumped by Ugin.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Being able to kill planeswalkers, big deal.
I just missed that card. Teamer Energy Days splashing that. It was so good then, but it really fell off a cliff.
Yeah. So I think of the ones that I've looked at all of them, I think Kethis is the one I'm most excited about, but maybe the Sultai one's also good. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look at any of them.
I haven't paid a lot of attention to them because I just feel like, like you said, the 3 mana requirements, I just try to look at what shells they're going to fit into right now, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to have that high of an impact to me right now, but there obviously could be a new shell that forms for them.
It definitely doesn't fit into anything right now.
Exactly.
And that is most of what the last set does. I wrote about some new shells that possibly could, exist because of some additions. There's always some decks that get real close to being good, but they're missing one piece. That's what my article's about. Decks that are missing that one piece and see, maybe that piece is coming in the core set and they can have their day for a couple months until rotation. So make sure to check that one out. We plug our articles a lot on this in case you haven't realized. So be sure to get used to that.
Got to chill it out, man.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
Ooh, my last article was Izzet Phoenix.
Perfect.
Boom. Easy. Perfect transition.
Like we plan these things.
Yeah.
That's going to be it for match 1. We're going to take a nice little 10-minute break while we get match 2 set up for you. Going to be a nice one. I've got a deck from Sam Black. Nice little brew, and you've got another deck from Todd, I believe.
Yeah, I got Boros Feather with trying to basically exploit how good God's Willing is going to be in the show, which, I mean, I just think it's going to be insane.
Okay. So we will come back in 10 minutes, talk a little bit about those decks. Lists will be up on the screen for you during the break, so you can check those out, and we will be back for match 2 of Versus Live. Don't go anywhere.